Craig, this is a bit of a mystery. A small Bering Air Flight carrying 10 people on board went missing during a flight between two small towns over the western coast of Alaska.
These are their faces, the 10 people who died on the Bering Air Flight just outside of Nome.
The year 2025 has barely begun, yet it seems to be cursed for American aviation. Within a single harrowing week, the skies have claimed 3 tragedies, the latest being Bering Air Flight 445. On February 6, 2025, this routine flight vanished without a trace over Alaska's notorious Norton Sound. The aircraft, a Cessna 208B Grand Caravan EX, carried 9 passengers and 1 pilot. There was no distress signal, no peculiar communication with air controllers, just a plane that vanished like it was never airborne. But a day later, the worst was the truth for the 10 people on board. Flight 445 had crashed about 30 miles southeast from Nome, its supposed destination. Everyone on that flight perished. The Alaskan community was devastated as they came together to mourn and support each other in those difficult times. But how did it happen? The internet is being flooded with crazy theories right now. For some, it was the bad weather, but for others, it was the damned Alaskan Triangle that's alleged with the disappearance of over 16,000 people. Was Flight 445 yet another victim of this mysterious zone, or is there a more grounded explanation awaiting discovery? Join us as we delve into the enigma of Flight 445. And as we do that, take a quick second to hit that subscribe button so you're always in the loop for all the stories and incidents that keep you on your toes. It was an ordinary Thursday afternoon at Unalakleet Airport. The temperature hovered just below freezing. Typical for an Alaskan February, 10 individuals prepared to board Flight 445 and their destination, Nome. At Unalakleet Airport, Bering Air Flight 445 prepared for its routine journey to Nome. The aircraft, a sturdy Cessna 208B Grand Caravan EX, stood ready on the tarmac. Manufactured in 2020, this model was known for its reliability in the harsh Alaskan environment. These planes served as lifelines between Alaska's remote communities. Leon Ryan was ready to board the flight and go home to his husband. An educator at the Unalakleet School, Leon was a science geek and so full of life. Roan Baumgartner worked for the Alaska Native Tribal Health Consortium. He boarded the plane with his co-worker. Both of them were utility operation employees, and their mission was simple: help with a heating system at a local water plant. At 2:38 p.m., a KST, Flight 445 lifted off from runway 33. The skies were overcast, but visibility was deemed sufficient for the journey. The pilot, a seasoned aviator familiar with Alaska's unpredictable weather, guided the plane to its cruising altitude of approximately 7,700 feet. The flight was expected to be uneventful, with an arrival time in Nome set for 4:20 p.m. As the aircraft cruised over the icy waters of Norton Sound, the pilot contacted Anchorage Air Route Traffic Control Center. He reported that he would initiate a holding pattern, awaiting clearance for landing due to a minor delay on the runway at Nome. This was a standard procedure and no distress signals were transmitted.
Low altitude alert, Bering Air 445. Check your altitude immediately.
At 3:16 p.m., Flight 445's transponder signaled its position one final time, an altitude of 5,300 feet, approximately 30 miles southeast of Nome. Moments later,
there's zero visibility. Basically, you can't see anything from the air or the ground.
The plane vanished from radar. What happened next remains the subject of intense investigation and speculation. Back in Nome, the minutes ticked by with growing unease. When the expected arrival time passed without any communication, alarms were raised. The Nome Volunteer Fire Department initiated ground searches, but deteriorating weather conditions hampered aerial efforts. The United States Coast Guard and Air Force joined the search, deploying aircraft to scour the area where the plane was last detected. As night fell over the Sound, temperatures plummeted. If there were survivors, every minute in those conditions reduced their chances of survival. Families and friends of those on board clung to hope. their anxiety mounting with each passing hour. Social media buzzed with updates, prayers, and speculations. The tight-knit communities of Nome and Unalakleet braced themselves, drawing together in shared concern. Dawn broke on February 7th, revealing a harsh truth. Search teams located the wreckage of Flight 445 crashed into an ice floe in Norton Sound. There were no survivors. The icy expanse had claimed all 10 souls aboard. Grief rippled through the Alaskan communities. Vigils were held in Nome, where residents gathered to honor the lost and support the bereaved. The Alaska Native Tribal Health Consortium mourned the loss of their colleagues, acknowledging the profound impact on their organization and the communities they served. Recovery operations faced significant challenges. The ice floe was moving at about 5 miles per day, and forecasters warned of an approaching winter storm. Despite these obstacles, by February 9th, recovery teams had retrieved all 10 bodies from the crash site. The National Transportation Safety Board, NTSB, launched an immediate investigation into the cause of the crash. Clint Johnson, chief of the NTSB Alaska region, stated at a news briefing,
So Bryce Banning, who started in our office up here, transferred to the Majors Division with the NTSB about 2 years ago. He is the investigator in charge of this accident, so he's got quite a feat ahead of him. However, he's a very, very talented investigator, and I think we're about to find out just how talented he is.
We are very much in the preliminary stages of this investigation. The crash was serious enough to warrant the personal attention of NTSB Chair Jennifer Homendy, who traveled to Alaska the weekend following the incident. Initial focus centered on weather conditions at the time of the crash. February in Alaska brings some of the most challenging flying conditions imaginable. High winds, rapid temperature changes, and sudden snowstorms that can reduce visibility to 0 in minutes. But some observers noted several troubling aspects of the incident. The lack of a distress call, the sudden drop in elevation and speed, the experienced pilot who had flown this route countless times before, and perhaps most puzzling, the fact that this was the third aviation incident in American skies in a single week. As the NTSB's investigation progressed, preliminary findings suggested a possible mechanical failure. The rapid descent indicated a potential loss of control, but whether this was due to instrument malfunction, structural issues, or external factors remained undetermined. As investigations continue into the cause of the Bering Air Flight 445 tragedy, communities across Alaska mourn their lost loved ones. The NTSB's final report will likely take months to complete, and even then, questions may remain. What we know for certain is that on February 6, 2025, 10 people boarded a flight that would never reach its destination. Their stories ended somewhere over the frigid waters of Norton Sound, in the heart of one of America's last great wildernesses. For the families left behind, theories about mysterious triangles offer little comfort. They seek answers, closure, and the chance to say goodbye. Yet as aviation experts work to prevent similar tragedies, one cannot help but wonder about the unusual cluster of incidents marking the beginning of 2025. Is it merely statistical variance, or does it point to deeper issues in American aviation? Or perhaps, as some continue to insist, to forces beyond our comprehension? The Alaskan Triangle keeps its secrets well. And while science may eventually explain what happened to Flight 445, the notion that some corners of our world remain beyond our understanding continues to haunt us. For now, the crash of Bering Air Flight 445 joins the long list of mysteries born in the vast wilderness of America's last frontier. What do you think happened with the flight? Let us know in the comments below.